Hey, this is Sam here from KitchenGadgetsClub.com, and I promised you as part of our stackable series to show you our cheese muffins. These cheese muffins are from the Complete Air Fryer Cookbook. We've previously featured them on our YouTube channel as well, but I wanted to show you because you've all been asking about the way it cooks from the back and other air fryers cook from the top, whether or not it's good for food that would normally burn on top. So I'm going to make these cheese muffins. I'm going to put some of them in our dual air fryer and some of them in our stackable, and then we can compare.
First, let me explain to you who we are. If you're new around here, my name is Sam, and I've been teaching people how to cook smart with just kitchen gadgets for over 10 years. In fact, we don't even have an oven or a hob in our kitchen. We are double Sunday Times bestsellers, and The Independent calls us the best for beginner cooks. But because we've been creating videos for a while, we've ended up with more than 1,500 recipe videos on our YouTube channel. So what we have done is we have created a recipe index organised by gadget to help you quickly find your next recipe video. You can find them all at KitchenGadgetsClub.com/YouTube, and we would be honoured if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel for more recipe videos like this. So now let's get back to the food.
These cheese muffins are among one of the easiest muffins recipes to do, but it's after you've weighed out the ingredients. Actually mixing and everything is so fast, but it feels like I'm weighing this, I'm weighing that. But once you've prepared your ingredients, it's a really quick and tasty cheese muffin recipe. You can also mix and match, so if you wanted to add some bacon, ham, peppers, asparagus or any other favourites, then they are perfect for adding to these savoury muffins. So should we talk ingredients and I can explain this recipe in more detail? So I have actually weighed quite a few of these ingredients out already to save you just watching me do so on camera. So we've got a bowl of grated cheese, we've got self-raising flour, self-rising if you're in the US, we've got just short of 1 large egg because I needed some for brushing the top of a pies, but I thought I ain't going to waste it. And then in here I've got warm, not hot, hence that I can touch it like this, and it's melted butter with some garlic. In here I've got some leftover fresh parsley. I've also got for herbs some mixed herbs and some mustard. And then in the big mixing bowl already, I've got plenty of yogurt, extra virgin olive oil, and some whole milk or full fat milk if you're in the US. And of course, I've got some silicone muffin cases that are perfect for using in air fryers. So wasn't that an easy set of ingredients? And to be honest, I don't even use a proper whisk when I'm doing this recipe because it just comes together so easily. So into our main bowl already, we have plenty of ingredients, so I'm just going to add in some more. So the last of my fresh parsley. As somebody that makes a lot of recipes, what I do is when I'm heading towards the end of a big batch of new recipes, I'll make use of a few different ingredients that are left over, and that's what I've done here. So you can do the same with a clear out of what you've got in your fridge and your pantry and whatnot. So then add in as little or as much mustard as you like, some mixed herbs. I also like a bit of salt in there as well. You can also add in some pepper. Then pop in your egg. And then I'm going to use the spoon to mix the ingredients with. So just get in there and give it a good mix. And choose quite a large mixing bowl because it makes your job so much easier. So you don't have to worry about them spilling out or anything. And this makes quite a good portion of muffins as well. So that's the first ingredients to add in. Next, we're going to add in the melted butter and the garlic. Like I said, this recipe is from my cookbook, so if you need all the measurements, they are there. And then just keep mixing. Oh, look, it's turning into a lovely creamy mixture. And the yogurt-based muffins are the best. I first got introduced to these by somebody I met when I was living in Portugal, and she was from Australia, and she says these are proper Aussie muffins. I'm loving them. Then add in your cheese, and then after that your flour, and then you're ready for pouring your batter into your muffin cups. Isn't this easy? So that's your cheese. I like to add the flour last because it's the bit that makes it really, really thick, so it's easy to mix before you add in your flour. So that just leaves the flour. So stir in the flour. And just keep mixing until you've managed to mix in all the flour and it becomes quite a thick batter. So then start tipping your bowl up to try and incorporate all that flour. And I finished mixing. One other tip I would give you with this recipe though is it does seem to work better in the air fryer when you use low fat cheese. The reason being is otherwise they can go quite greasy because you've got full fat milk in there, you've got plenty of butter in there as well, and it just makes a difference there, especially if you're adding ham to them, because ham can be greasy as well. So just bear that in mind depending what other ingredients you're adding in. So muffin cases at the ready. Let's start portioning them up, shall we? So I've got a chopping board there so that I can see you and show you them in more detail. So you just want to grab a few of them out, any you've got really. You can make these ahead as well, you don't have to do them all now. So then push them on with your finger. Find about 1.5 tablespoons makes a good sized one, or just one really big heaped tablespoon depending what mood you're in. You can always adjust and add some more to some of them that you feel like you didn't add enough to. So let's do some more, shall we? Just going to adjust and put a little bit more in that one. Feels like it's lacking. So like I said, it makes a lot, does this batter, but because it only uses one large egg, you know, if you half a recipe, it's like using half an egg, and it annoys me. So I just prefer to do a bigger batch because you can always make them ahead for later in the week. You don't have to do them all at once. So I'm just going to move some across so I can fit some more on. So we can start scraping that bowl now. I think we're about there. So how many have we made? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Can you believe it makes 15? I think that's amazing because, like I say, it's all ingredients I've already got in. I haven't gone out to buy anything to make this with. And I was also doing a video for some Ninja Foodie yogurt, and you know, you got your tub of yogurt to get 2 tablespoons worth, and I've got the rest of all that yogurt left over, so that was used as well. Spare herbs from the week that we've bought in, so it's just been a brilliant one for using things up. So shall I get the drawers out and start loading them up and showing you them? I'm going to start with one of the jewel drawers. So the thing here to note is that what I've found with doing muffins in there, that when you spread them out like that, sometimes they kind of stick together, so they kind of go a bit skew with. So it'd be interesting to see how they work in the stackable in comparison. Because I do find that in the jewel, they cook them a bit too much on top, but I don't have that problem with the Philips air fryer or the Kasori. So I'm wondering how it's going to impact doing it in the stackable. So that's the first ones that I'm doing for the jewel, and then this is the bottom of the stackable. And I can't put as many in this because I need to spread them out between the different drawers. So that's 4 of them to go in there. And then the final four for the other drawer. So, should we put this experiment to the test?
Whilst we're cooking, let me introduce you to Kitchen Gadgets Club. We recommend joining it because it's brilliant for kitchen gadget recipes with step-by-step photos. It's got lots of easy recipes. You can join for as little as £1 a week. It has a library of over 1,000 plus kitchen gadget recipes, and we add 4 new exclusive recipes every single week. Here are just a few of the recipes. Each recipe has both metric and imperial, step-by-step photographs, plenty of useful kitchen gadget advice from experts. Just take a look at some of the photographs. And of course, you can join by heading to kitchengadgetsclub.com/join. And now, shall we get back to the food?
Right, so to turn it on, and we're doing just zone 2, air fry. And then you're looking for 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 12 minutes, and 12 to 15 minutes good for them. So we'll start it off on this and then press start. Right, so now across to our stack, so you can see them all in there. So we've got 4 in that one and 4 in this one, and I'm most interested to see what they look like on top, seeing as this one cooks from the back and the other one cooks from the front. So if you can spread them out a bit, we can see, can't we? So we're doing the same again, but for this we're pressing match. Air fry, 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, a cook time of 12 minutes again, and then press start, and we'll see you soon. So before we jump into the next recipe, what I want to talk about is air fryer, easy every day. You know, if you've been a listener to our podcast or watched our videos for a while, you've probably heard of it. But if you're using a stack, did you know it was actually made with the Ninja Joule in mind? It was made so that those that had a dual air fryer had a cookbook to use, and that they understood the difference between basket air frying and dual air frying. So every single recipe in the cookbook has basket and dual air fryer instructions, and it also changes the recipes slightly on certain ones. For example, ones where you could cook the food directly in there versus needing a container if using a basket. We cover both of those in this book. So let me show you inside it so I can actually give you some examples of how you can use it. And of course, it's available on Amazon. Simply search on Amazon Sam and Dom Milner, search air fryer Sam and Dom, whichever you prefer. And then, for example, when we've done the accessories picture, we've got little rectangular casserole dishes, which of course we recommend for Jules. And then we've got a lot of great recipes in here, but I'm just looking for some examples that would help you, particularly if you've got a Joule. For example, in the meat chapter, we cover a beef Wellington, but of course a big beef Wellington wouldn't fit in a Joule, so we also give you instructions on how to do a small one or to do minis, depending on what you prefer. We also have symbols with every recipe so that you know which air fryers it's best suited for. So you'll notice every single one has the Joule symbol, but some are suitable for air fryer ovens and mini air fryers. That is we also have a doner kebab recipe in there. Then another great that we have that's brilliant for the Joule is homemade fish fingers and chips. So then you can be doing the chips in one drawer, the fish fingers in another. Another one that's interesting, if you do have a Joule, is the fact that we've got soup in there and you can roast it in the bottom versus putting it in a dish if you've got an air fry basket. We've got a macaroni cheese, so you could use a rectangular casserole dish in the Joule versus a square one if you've got an air fry basket. So it's a nice mix of the different ways that you can actually do it. The same with cauliflower cheese, you know, getting a dish that fits a Joule is the key to that. And then our favourites for using for the Joule is our 7 days of dinners. because in this we have these some favourite blue silica dishes of ours, and what's brilliant here is we did a moussaka and we did one in each drawer, so you could actually freeze one if you wanted to. And the best of them all was the turd in the hole, because you could do a small turd in the hole in each jewel drawer, or if you had the air fryer basket you could just do one big one. We love that for this. And again with the curry, you can cook the curry in the bottom when you've got a jewel. And then when you're doing a lamb roast, you can do the lamb in one and the potatoes in the other. And it's just got so much choice if you've got a jewel. And the same with the sausage rolls, you can do half in one drawer, half in the other. And you can, we also show you how to do mini cheesecakes so you can fit them in the different drawers. And same with shortbread, and we have some afternoon tea in there as well. So that is a brilliant one for you. And we've beeped, so this is the jewel version, and look at the lovely colour on top on those. So let's see if they're cooked, shall we? Best way is with a thermometer, and if it comes out clean, they're done. Oh, and the other one's beeped, so let's check on these. So, checking on the bottom first, and you can see the colour difference there. So the browner at the front, but maybe that's a good thing, because like I've mentioned before, people don't like the colour of the way air fried food cooks on top. So this is probably the one thing that if you are wanting an air fryer and you're struggling, that you might prefer. They're very much done. And then let's have a look at these top ones. I just want to eat them. So they're in the 90s if you're going by temperature. But all it really does is, when you do them in this one, is that it often doesn't brown the food because it's cooking from the back rather than from above. So it's great for cakes and muffins and things like that, but it really lacks for your meat, really, for your pork chops, your lamb chops, your steaks and whatnot. So this is definitely a vote for the stack. So let me show you again the bottom ones. So that's the colour on those. And now let's go back to the jewel, and then you can see the difference in colour there. What I'll do is I'll take a photograph as well, and I'll post it on screen, and then you can see a close-up of the difference, because I think this is one of those recipes where you really feel the difference. Thanks for watching, and now you've seen a glimpse into our ovenless world. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is what I call one of our step-by-step instruction videos. If you would rather have short and sweet, don't forget to check out our shorts. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to find videos quickly, if you head over to KitchenGadgetsClub.com/YouTube, you can see an A to Z list of all our YouTube videos, so you can find videos by Kitchen Gadget. And I'll see you again soon.